Is staying sexually active after the age of 70 truly possible or even beneficial? It's a question many people have, but rarely ask out loud. Society often suggests that aging means slowing down, fading into the background, or losing interest in passion. However, the reality is that many older adults continue to experience desire, intimacy, and even a healthy sex drive, whether they discuss it or not. The issue is that this topic is seldom addressed. From loved ones to medical professionals, conversations about senior sexuality are often avoided or dismissed. This silence can lead older individuals to feel isolated, ashamed, or unsure about what is normal or acceptable. However, here's the truth. Sex doesn't come with an expiration date, and neither does affection, connection, or pleasure. In fact, research suggests that maintaining a healthy sexual life, even solo, can significantly contribute to overall well-being for those in their 60s, 70s, or even 80s. In this video, we'll explore the surprising and powerful connection between sexuality and longevity. Whether you're in a relationship, widowed, dating, or living independently, we'll dive into what the science really says about sexual health in later life, and why it matters more than many people realize. If you've ever wondered whether you're too old for this aspect of life, stay tuned. You might find that you're more vibrant and capable of meaningful connections than you thought. Let's uncover the science behind sexual longevity and how staying sexually active after 70 can actually support both your body and brain. Sexual activity after the age of 70 may seem like an afterthought to some, but science paints a compelling picture of its crucial role in long-term health, particularly for older adults. Let's start with the heart. Engaging in sexual activity, whether light or infrequent, gives the cardiovascular system a workout. During arousal, your heart rate increases, blood vessels dilate, and circulation improves. This not only helps maintain heart health but can also lower blood pressure over time. In fact, one study found that older adults who remained sexually active had lower risks of stroke and heart disease. Now, let's talk about mood regulation. Sexual activity triggers the release of feel-good chemicals like oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphins. These hormones help alleviate stress, promote better sleep, and combat depression and anxiety. That's why many seniors who maintain intimacy, whether shared or solo, often report feeling more emotionally stable and content. But it doesn't stop there. What about the brain? Research reveals that regular sexual activity might enhance cognitive function by boosting blood flow to the brain and promoting the release of neuroprotective chemicals. Some studies have even linked sexual activity in seniors to improved memory, sharper focus, and a delay in cognitive decline. Staying sexually active doesn't just keep your body in shape, it helps keep your mind young and alert. And it's not all about partnered sex. Solo activity, often overlooked, offers similar benefits. It helps maintain hormonal balance, reduces stress, and increases body awareness. It's not just a replacement for connection, it's a vital form of self-care and regulation that supports overall health. This brings us to an important point. It's not just about sex. It's about staying fully alive, in every sense. When approached with balance, intention, and openness, sexual activity can become a life-affirming component of healthy aging. It's not about performance, it's about connection, vitality, and honoring the needs that persist as we age. Next, we'll dive into what changes in the body after 70 and how to adapt to these shifts without sacrificing intimacy. As we age, sex doesn't just stop, it evolves. And understanding these changes can help us embrace the shift rather than fear it. Sex after 70 may be different, but that doesn't mean it's any less fulfilling. For many seniors, it becomes more intentional, more meaningful, and more emotionally enriching than before. Let's begin with the physical changes. For women, menopause typically leads to a drop in estrogen, causing vaginal dryness, thinning tissue, and reduced natural lubrication. This can make intercourse uncomfortable if not addressed. However, there are solutions such as lubricants, vaginal moisturizers, and hormone therapy that can help restore comfort. For men, erectile dysfunction (ED) becomes more common due to changes in blood flow and testosterone levels, often linked to conditions like diabetes and heart disease. But ED isn't the end of the road. It's an opportunity to explore new forms of intimacy. With medical support, lifestyle adjustments, and open communication, sex can still be enjoyable, even if it looks a little different. Emotionally, aging brings its own set of shifts. Many of us reevaluate how we view ourselves. For some, physical changes can lead to lower self-esteem or concerns about desirability. For others, the loss of a longtime partner or re-entering the dating scene after years of absence can stir up feelings of uncertainty, grief, or vulnerability. Relationships also transform. Intimacy often shifts from being performance-based to focusing on presence. A slower, more intentional connection becomes the goal, and this can be deeply satisfying, both physically and emotionally. Because of these changes, communication becomes even more crucial. Whether with a partner of 50 years or someone new, clear and gentle conversations about comfort levels, boundaries, and fears help build trust and create a safe space for exploration. And don't underestimate the power of humor and patience. Awkward moments are often a sign that you're growing together, letting go of old expectations. With age comes wisdom, and that applies to intimacy as well. The key takeaway here is that sex after 70 isn't about trying to relive your 20s. It's about rediscovering joy, closeness, and pleasure in this new chapter of life. Next, we'll dive into the profound emotional and physical benefits of maintaining intimacy later in life, including how it can improve mood, enhance longevity, and elevate quality of life. The benefits of intimacy later in life. One of the most overlooked aspects of aging is how powerful intimacy can be, not just for pleasure but as a vital tool for physical, emotional, and even spiritual health. Whether shared with a partner or experienced solo, intimacy in your 70s, 80s, or beyond can have transformative benefits that extend far beyond the bedroom. Let's first look at the science behind touch as medicine. When we engage in affectionate physical contact, whether it's holding hands, hugging, cuddling, or sexual activity, our body releases oxytocin, also known as the love hormone. This chemical helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone linked to inflammation, high blood pressure, and weakened immunity. Regular physical intimacy can lower stress levels, improve mood, and even lead to better sleep quality. There's also a measurable impact on the immune system. Studies show that people who maintain close, affectionate relationships, whether romantic or platonic, tend to get sick less often and recover more quickly. The gentle activation of the parasympathetic nervous system during intimacy promotes healing and resilience, helping the body fight off illness and manage pain more effectively. But intimacy isn't just about physical health. It nourishes the soul too. Many older adults report feeling a deeper sense of connection and belonging when they maintain physical closeness. This intimacy can act as a powerful antidote to loneliness and isolation, two issues that are unfortunately common in later life. Unfortunately, loneliness and isolation are common challenges in later years. But when you feel desired, valued, and emotionally connected, it contributes significantly to your overall sense of vitality and joy. Here's the crucial point. Intimacy doesn't have to always involve sex. For some, it may simply mean cuddling with a partner, slow dancing in the kitchen, or sharing quiet moments of affection. For others, it might involve solo touch, exploring your own body in a way that is gentle, respectful, and comforting. Solo intimacy is still intimacy. It's a form of self-care, self-expression, and a way to stay in tune with your changing needs. At its essence, intimacy later in life is about being present, whether with yourself or with someone else. It helps you feel alive, needed, and emotionally open. That kind of closeness has no age limit. So, if you've ever wondered whether it's too late or inappropriate to seek affection, touch, or closeness, here's your reminder: your need for connection doesn't retire. In fact, it may become even more vital as the years go on. Next, let's address a topic often misunderstood: solo time after 70. Is it still healthy? Is it normal? And how does it support long-term well-being? Let's talk about it. Solo time, still normal, still healthy. Solo time, or masturbation, is a topic that is often whispered about but rarely discussed openly, especially when it comes to older adults. There's still a lot of misinformation, stigma, and outdated beliefs surrounding this natural part of human life. But here's the truth. Solo intimacy is not only normal, it's also healthy at any age. One of the biggest myths is that masturbation is something people should grow out of or that it's only for the young or those without partners. In reality, many seniors continue to engage in solo time well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. And not only is it common, but it also offers genuine physical and emotional benefits. For men, regular ejaculation can support prostate health. Some studies suggest that men who ejaculate more frequently may have a lower risk of prostate problems later in life. Solo time also helps maintain healthy sexual function and blood flow, particularly when intimacy with a partner isn't frequent. For women, masturbation can support pelvic floor strength, which is essential for bladder control and overall vaginal health. The light contractions that occur during orgasm help keep pelvic muscles engaged, which is particularly beneficial after menopause when muscle tone naturally declines. Beyond the physical benefits, solo intimacy offers powerful emotional and mental relief. It can help reduce stress, improve mood, and enhance sleep quality. The release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin provides a natural boost, which can be especially helpful for those dealing with anxiety or depression. As we age, maintaining a positive relationship with our own body becomes increasingly important. It's easy to disconnect from physical pleasure or think we're past that stage, but staying connected to your body on your own terms can build confidence, promote body awareness, and improve self-esteem. Solo intimacy reinforces healthy emotional boundaries, too. When you know how to meet your own needs, you become less dependent on others for validation or affection. This kind of self-knowledge brings emotional freedom, empowering you to make choices based on desire rather than desperation or fear. Whether you're single, widowed, divorced, or in a long-term relationship, solo time is a valid and essential form of self-care. It doesn't mean you're lonely or lacking something. It means you're honoring your body, listening to your needs, and staying connected to a part of yourself that never truly disappears. Let's let go of any shame and embrace the truth. Solo time is still normal, still natural, and still good for you. Emotional and mental health considerations. While we've discussed the physical and emotional benefits of intimacy and solo time, it's just as important to address the deeper mental health side of things. Our emotional needs don't disappear with age, they simply evolve. If we're not attentive, feelings like loneliness, isolation, or anxiety can quietly take hold, often showing up in unexpected ways, including through our intimate habits. Let's begin with the difference between loneliness and connection. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely if there's no emotional closeness or vulnerability. On the flip side, someone who lives alone can feel deeply connected if they have regular emotional support, meaningful relationships, and a sense of belonging. As we grow older, maintaining that sense of connection becomes crucial, not just for mental well-being, but for our overall health and longevity. Sometimes, seniors may turn to solo intimacy as a substitute for emotional closeness. This is not unusual, and there's no need to feel ashamed of it, but it's essential to be honest with yourself. Are you engaging in this behavior as a healthy form of self-expression, or as a way in solo time well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond? And not only is it common, but it also offers genuine physical and emotional benefits. For men, regular ejaculation can support prostate health. Some studies suggest that men who ejaculate more frequently may have a lower risk of prostate problems later in life. Solo time also helps maintain healthy sexual function and blood flow, particularly when intimacy with a partner isn't frequent. For women, masturbation can support pelvic floor strength, which is essential for bladder control and overall vaginal health. The light contractions that occur during orgasm help keep pelvic muscles engaged, which is particularly beneficial after menopause when muscle tone naturally declines. Beyond the physical benefits, solo intimacy offers powerful emotional and mental relief. It can help reduce stress, improve mood, and enhance sleep quality. The release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin provides a natural boost, which can be especially helpful for those dealing with anxiety or depression. As we age, maintaining a positive relationship with our own body becomes increasingly important. It's easy to disconnect from physical pleasure or think we're past that stage, but staying connected to your body on your own terms can build confidence, promote body awareness, and improve self-esteem. Solo intimacy reinforces healthy emotional boundaries, too. When you know how to meet your own needs, you become less dependent on others for validation or affection. This kind of self-knowledge brings emotional freedom, empowering you to make choices based on desire rather than desperation or fear. Whether you're single, widowed, divorced, or in a long-term relationship, solo time is a valid and essential form of self-care. It doesn't mean you're lonely or lacking something. It means you're honoring your body, listening to your needs, and staying connected to a part of yourself that never truly disappears. Let's let go of any shame and embrace the truth. Solo time is still normal, still natural, and still good for you. Emotional and mental health considerations. While we've discussed the physical and emotional benefits of intimacy and solo time, it's just as important to address the deeper mental health side of things. Our emotional needs don't disappear with age, they simply evolve. If we're not attentive, feelings like loneliness, isolation, or anxiety can quietly take hold, often showing up in unexpected ways, including through our intimate habits. Let's begin with the difference between loneliness and connection. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely if there's no emotional closeness or vulnerability. On the flip side, someone who lives alone can feel deeply connected if they have regular emotional support, meaningful relationships, and a sense of belonging. As we grow older, maintaining that sense of connection becomes crucial, not just for mental well-being, but for our overall health and longevity. Sometimes, seniors may turn to solo intimacy as a substitute for emotional closeness. This is not unusual, and there's no need to feel ashamed of it, but it's essential to be honest with yourself. Are you engaging in this behavior as a healthy form of self-expression, or as a way? Another valuable topic to explore is whether hormone treatments or sexual aids could help. For women, vaginal estrogen or lubricants can relieve dryness and discomfort. For men, medications like Viagra or Cialis can be beneficial, though they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's crucial to get the right advice, especially if you have heart conditions or other health concerns. If emotional or psychological issues like anxiety, shame, or trauma are affecting your ability to enjoy intimacy, consider speaking with a counselor or sex therapist. Therapy isn't just for the young. It can be a powerful tool for unpacking old beliefs, healing past wounds, and rediscovering joy and connection in later life. The bottom line is this: your doctor is there to help, not judge. Don't let embarrassment stand in the way of solutions that could significantly improve your quality of life. Rebuilding or rekindling intimacy. For many older adults, intimacy in later life doesn't just continue, it begins anew. Whether you're navigating life after the loss of a longtime partner, adjusting to divorce, or reconnecting with yourself after years of emotional distance, rebuilding or rekindling intimacy can be a beautiful and healing journey. Starting over after widowhood or divorce comes with a mix of emotions. There may be grief, guilt, fear, or uncertainty, especially if your last relationship was decades ago. It's completely normal to feel hesitant or even overwhelmed by the idea of being vulnerable again. But it's also important to remember that you're allowed to seek love, closeness, and touch, no matter your age or history. A great way to begin is by slowly and mindfully reintroducing affection. Start with small gestures like holding hands, a light touch on the shoulder, or a warm hug. These simple actions can reignite a sense of connection without rushing the process. Physical closeness doesn't have to mean sex right away. In fact, emotional safety and trust often grow through gentle, intentional touch. Respecting boundaries, both yours and your partner's, is key. Everyone has their own pace and comfort zone, particularly after loss or trauma. Be open and honest about what feels good, what feels uncertain, and what you're ready or not ready for. Intimacy in later life is more about shared understanding and emotional presence than performance. Technology has also opened up new doors for connection. Dating apps specifically designed for seniors, such as Our Time, Silver Singles, and Stitch, make it easier to meet others seeking companionship, romance, or even just friendship. Don't be afraid to give them a try. Many older adults have found meaningful relationships and renewed confidence through these platforms. Just remember to stay safe, trust your instincts, and move at your own pace. If you're already in a relationship but intimacy has faded, it's never too late to rekindle the spark. Set aside intentional time to connect, whether through shared activities, date nights, or honest conversations about your evolving needs. Even acknowledging the desire to grow closer can begin to transform the relationship. Remember, intimacy is not defined by age, it's defined by presence, willingness, and connection. You don't need to go back to how things used to be. Instead, you can create something entirely new, on your terms, at your own pace, with joy and self-compassion. Safety and practical tips. As we age, intimacy doesn't have to end, but it must evolve to accommodate the body's changing needs. Whether you're reconnecting with a partner, exploring new relationships, or simply enjoying solo time, safety and comfort are essential for a positive, healthy experience. Let's start with physical safety. Joint stiffness, reduced flexibility, and chronic conditions like arthritis can make certain positions uncomfortable or even painful. That's why it's important to listen to your body and find what works best for you. Consider using pillows or cushions to support your hips and knees, and try positions that minimize pressure on your joints. There's no need to rush or force anything. Intimacy can be slow, gentle, and still deeply satisfying. For women, especially after menopause, natural lubrication decreases, which can cause discomfort or even minor tearing during intimacy. Don't hesitate to use a water-based or silicone lubricant. They're safe, effective, and can make a big difference in comfort. Vaginal moisturizers and estrogen creams, when recommended by a doctor, can also help maintain tissue health. Even later in life, it's crucial to protect against infections. Sexually transmitted infections, STIs, can still be transmitted at any age, and rates among seniors have risen in recent years due to the assumption that protection is no longer necessary. If you're dating or have a new partner, don't skip the conversation about protection and testing. Condoms and regular screenings are not just for the young, they're for the wise. Equally important is the emotional aspect of safety. Consent, communication, and care are foundational. No matter your age, you deserve to feel respected, heard, and emotionally safe in any intimate interaction. Consent isn't just about saying yes or no. It's about checking in with yourself and your partner, expressing what you want, and honoring boundaries. Clear, honest communication builds trust and helps prevent misunderstandings or emotional harm. If intimacy brings up uncomfortable emotions like grief, guilt, or anxiety, take your time. Consider speaking with a therapist. Emotional readiness is just as important as physical readiness, and there's no shame in needing time to heal or reconnect with your own comfort. Finally, remember that intimacy should never be painful, either physically or emotionally. If something doesn't feel right, stop and reassess. Intimacy at this stage of life is about joy, connection, and self-respect, not pressure, fear, or pain. By prioritizing comfort, communication, and compassion for yourself and your partner, you create space for intimacy that is not only safe but also truly nourishing. Real stories. Intimacy after 70. Up next, we'll hear real stories and insights from seniors who have embraced later life intimacy, proving that it's never too late to feel love, pleasure, and meaningful connection. Sometimes, the most powerful proof doesn't come from studies or science. It comes from real people who've lived it. Across the country, countless seniors are rediscovering intimacy, pleasure, and connection in ways they never thought possible. These stories serve as reminders that you're never too old to feel love, closeness, or joy. Take Margaret, 76, for example. She lost her husband of 50 years and spent several years thinking her romantic life was over. "I never imagined dating again," she said. "But when I met someone through a senior hiking club, I realized I still had so much love to give and receive." Our intimacy isn't rushed. It's respectful, full of laughter, and surprisingly healing. Then there's James, 81, who struggled with erectile dysfunction and felt deeply embarrassed. "I thought I was broken," he admitted. "But with a little help from my doctor and some patience from my partner, we found new ways to be close." We've built a bond that's deeper than anything I knew in my younger years. Rosa, 73, a widow, turned to solo intimacy to reconnect with her body. For years, I ignored my needs, she shared. But I started to learn that pleasure doesn't have an age limit. Now I see it as a form of self-respect and wellness, not something to be ashamed of. These stories aren't rare, they're just rarely talked about. And that's the problem. When intimacy after 70 remains a taboo, too many people suffer in silence, assuming they're alone. But the truth is, you're not alone. More and more seniors are embracing this stage of life, not as a time of decline, but as a new opportunity to deepen connection with others and with themselves. As one 78-year-old viewer once commented on our channel, I thought passion was something I had to leave in the past. But I've learned it's still inside me, just waiting to be invited back in. Let that sink in. Passion doesn't retire. Love doesn't expire. And you, no matter your age, deserve the right to feel, express, and be connected. So, whether you're single, partnered, exploring, or just curious, take comfort in knowing this. You are never too old to experience love, pleasure, or intimacy. It's not about going back. It's about moving forward with wisdom, freedom, and open-heartedness. Aging with sexual confidence. As we wrap up this conversation, it's important to pause and reflect on the bigger message. Aging doesn't mean losing yourself. It means reconnecting with what truly matters. Yes, your body changes, your energy shifts, and your relationships evolve, but none of that means you have to let go of joy, touch, closeness, or desire. Too often, society sends the message that sexuality ends with youth, as if it's something we're supposed to outgrow. But the truth is, your sexuality is not tied to your age. It's tied to your aliveness. It's not about performance, frequency, or fitting into some outdated ideal. It's about embracing who you are now, in this stage of life, and continuing to experience the richness of connection and intimacy. It's about what brings you peace, comfort, connection, and fulfillment. Maybe that means holding hands again after decades of silence. Maybe it's the courage to try dating in your 70s. Perhaps it's finally giving yourself permission to explore solo intimacy without shame. Or maybe it's simply recognizing that the door to intimacy doesn't have to close unless you want it to. Sexuality is personal. It's private, but it's also powerful. And when we honor that part of ourselves, even later in life, we say yes to vitality, yes to wholeness, and yes to being fully human. Aging is not the end of the story, it's a new chapter, one where you write the rules based on who you are today and what you need now. Let go of the stereotypes, the shame, and the silence. Claim this part of yourself, not to chase youth, but to celebrate the fullness of life. Because no matter your age, you are worthy of pleasure, connection, and love. You are not too old. You are not invisible. You are still you, and you deserve to feel fully alive. We've discussed a lot in this video: intimacy, aging, self-connection, and how sexuality doesn't disappear just because you reach a certain age. Now it's your turn. Are you still active, or are you thinking about reconnecting with this part of your life? Whether you've embraced intimacy confidently or are still figuring it out, your experience matters. Your story could inspire someone else who's quietly wondering the same things. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. You don't have to go into detail, just let us know if this conversation resonated with you. Let's break the silence around senior sexuality together and create a space where it's normal to talk about things that matter. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, give it a like. It tells the platform, this is a conversation worth having. And don't forget to subscribe. This channel is dedicated to real, respectful, and empowering conversations about senior wellness, aging with confidence, and living fully, body, mind, and soul. From healthy habits to emotional well-being, we're here to walk this journey with you. Because life after 60, 70, even 80 isn't the end. It's an opportunity to rediscover parts of yourself you may have forgotten or never fully explored. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next one.